In the small, forgotten town of Ravenwood, an old mansion stood at the edge of a dark forest. The house was known by the locals as the Whitmore Estate, but whispers of its haunted past had earned it a far more sinister name, the Whispering Shadows. One crisp autumn evening, a young couple, Jane and Mark, drove into town, fascinated by the ominous aura encircling the ancient mansion. They were documentarians, seeking to uncover the truth behind local legends and paranormal activity, driven by the need to capture something truly extraordinary on film. As they approached the house, a chill ran down Jane's spine. The fading daylight cast long shadows that seemed to dance in the corners of her vision. Inside, the air was heavy with a musty scent, and the wooden floors creaked under their feet. The further they stepped into the mansion's depths, the colder it grew, as though the walls themselves exhaled a frigid breath. They set up their equipment in what had once been the grand ballroom, a cavernous space with a domed ceiling and massive, cobweb-draped chandeliers. The room was eerily silent, save for the occasional rustle of leaves against the broken window panes. As night descended, Jane began to feel an overwhelming sensation of being watched. Mark, ever the skeptic, brushed it off as nerves, but the tension was palpable. Determined to capture their findings, they split up to cover more ground. Mark ventured into the basement. The moment he stepped onto the first stair, he was engulfed in a sense of absolute dread. His flashlight flickered, casting erratic beams across the damp, stone walls. The further he descended, the stronger the whispers became, nearly inaudible but undeniably there. Meanwhile, Jane explored the upper floors, each room dank and cloaked in darkness. As she wandered through the abandoned bedrooms, she heard faint whispers echoing through the corridors. She tried to trace the source but found nothing but empty rooms and decaying furniture. When she reached the attic, she discovered an old, dusty trunk. Curiosity piqued, she pried it open to find relics of the past, faded photographs, brittle letters, and a porcelain doll with cracked, lifeless eyes. As she sifted through the contents, the temperature plummeted. Frost began to form on the attic windows, and an oppressive silence settled in. In the basement, Mark's flashlight died completely. Plunged into darkness, he fumbled for his phone but felt icy fingers clasp around his wrist. His scream echoed through the mansion, reaching Jane's ears and filling her with terror. She raced down the stairs, only to find the grand ballroom empty and her equipment smashed. Desperation set in as she tore through the house, calling Mark's name, but receiving only the mocking echoes of her own voice. In the basement, Jane found Mark, or what was left of him. His eyes were wide with terror, and his body rigid, as if frozen in his final moments of fear. Above him, the shadows seemed to writhe and whisper, their voices forming a chilling chorus. The realization hit her like a physical blow. The whispering shadows were not mere legends. They were real, and they had claimed another pair of victims for their dark gallery. Jane's scream joined Mark's in the haunting symphony that echoed through the Whitmore estate, forever amplifying the eerie whispers that warned all who dared to enter.